we are always trying to support our musicians and our creatives and our artists. And I honestly think we've been doing a better job of that over the last few years. And part of the reason is because of this guy that I'm going to bring in onto the live desk is Tlalok Rodriguez. I think I've butchered your first name. Say it for everybody so they know the correct pronunciation here on the Wisconsin live desk.
Hey, I think you nailed it, man. It's Tlalok Rodriguez.
Well, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. You are a musician. You bring people together, and there is a big event about to happen, a big milestone about to be reached. So tell us about the event that will be happening at the Cooperage coming up.
Absolutely. Well, you got it. Over at the Cooperage, it's going to be my 100th MKE Music Night. MKE Music Night is a art and music showcase I've been hosting for about 6.5 years now. And yeah, I got a lot of fun acts lined up. I've got 12 local acts on board, and I've got 5 art vendors. There will be live music from 5 to 11:30. That's right. That's the flyer right there.
Well, tell me about it, because
it's going to be a hoot.
So you've been doing this for how long? And it's just an attempt to bring all sorts of people together in one room. Is it a different kind of music or all different kinds of music?
Well, I think we're going to fall more on like the indie, folk, maybe a little funk and soul in there. That kind of is the overall vibe for this one. We've got like a couple punk bands on the bill. But yeah, it's really hard to get a little bit of everything for MK Music Night, hence 100 shows. So I'll usually do like a hip hop and R&B night, done multiple soul nights, Latin nights, and that's kind of how it helps me get in the scene a little bit more with the different pools of musicians and genres.
It's the venue's incredible. That was taken off your website. I think that's down at the Cooperage. It might be from somewhere else. But 100 shows. How long have you been doing this? How did this all start?
Well, the first one was on January 19th, 2019. And it was over at Bremen Cafe. I was basically just a young buck looking to book gigs with my band. And yeah, that's basically how it happened. I got like 7 bands on board for like a one night thing. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, the more bands, the more people. You know, the more people, the more they spend at the bar. And that's how we get paid.
And more likely the bar will bring you back,
venue.
Right? So tell me about.
Pardon me?
More likely that the bar will bring you back too if a bunch of people start showing up here. I was reading. I found an old college radio interview, I believe, that you did that I loved. Where in the interview you said at the time you were in 11 different bands.
Yeah, exactly. The numbers fluctuated up and down, but being a bass player, I end up getting a lot of miscellaneous gigs, playing with a bunch of different groups. I mean, yeah, bass, that's what it is. If you play an instrument like the bass, the drums, piano, everybody always needs a guy. And I was a yes man for a while. Now I'm learning how to get the number down and try to put my own music at the forefront of it.
11 different bands, though. I'm like, I can't even figure out my schedule for today to figure out like where I'm supposed to be. I can't imagine being like, who am I supposed to be practicing with, or even how do you know that many songs? Like, how do you keep it all straight in your head when you're in so many things? How many different bands are you in right now?
Well, I've whittled it down to about 6.
Oh, only 6.
And but it's a lot of fun. I get to do some of the booking for some of the bands, so it helps kind of keep everything on track. And I try my best to space out the practices, but it all revolves around the show schedule. And sometimes all the bands that I'm in are playing in the same week, and that's when it gets crazy.
That's when it gets really crazy. You have a really interesting history with music, and I know for you, you're a relative of yours. Was it your great-grandfather, your great-grandfather who used to play music? And now here you are trying to make a go of it as a career all these years later?
Basically, it's like just it runs in the family. So to my knowledge, my father, grandfather, and great-grandfather were all musicians in Mexico. And beyond that, I just assume we were all making sounds and playing tunes. But yeah, my great-grandfather was actually a composer.
Wow.
And
Okay.
there's a fun story about him. I never got to meet my great grandfather, but I guess he left behind when he passed. He had like all that was left was like one briefcase with all his compositions. And my grandparents, they didn't have a lot of money, and to make ends meet, they actually had to sell the briefcase of his life's work.
Oh, wow.
I know. Now it's up to me to go back to Mexico and chase it down.
Yeah, find it there. But I know for
Who
you,
knows where it ended up now? It's
a lot of the
lost.
music that you're creating and that you're paying homage to your past and your history, correct?
Yeah, when I can, and especially in my solo sets, I do like boleros, bossa novas. I recently started a Latin group in the past few years, and that's taken up a lot of my time and energy. But it's a lot of fun. It's just a
Yeah,
lot of guys to coordinate. You know, we can be up to a 14-piece band,
that
but
is
we do
so
some
cool.
salsa and some more
Yeah.
traditional tunes.
Tell me about the Milwaukee music scene because we have so many venues now. Every time there's like a new construction project that we're reporting on, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, there's a new music venue coming here to Milwaukee. It just seems like this community is doing a better job of supporting music. But how would you, as you're in the middle of it, what's your view on the music scene right now in Milwaukee?
Well, I think it's pretty interesting because there's almost multiple music scenes within Milwaukee. And I've explained this before, and it sounds a little weird, but there's almost not a lot of overlap. There's the hip hop and R&B community, and then you have like bluegrass guys. Somehow that overlaps into the jam band. There's That's how I learned a little bit about bluegrass. And then you got like the indie punk rockers, like the DIY scene coming out of like UWM. There's always house shows and new popular bands popping up all over the place. Then you've got like there's older metal guys. There's more of a punk scene that I'm not really hip to, and it's basically like I'm just trying to do these shows where I get people to come together, and it's been hard finding like the niche audiences. Oh, I
Hmm.
forgot to mention the Latin scene is crazy, like down on the south side, and all the different forms and varieties that it comes in. I'm actually booking live music over in Walker Square for the summer at the Walker Square Farmers Market. I'm the music director there, and I got a lot of varieties of Latin groups
That's
lined up
awesome.
there
Well, and
this
I think
summer.
music is maybe the best way to showcase what our city is. We really are a multicultural city, always have been. And what better way to experience each other's culture than through our music?
Absolutely.
So tell us about the event again, because here we go. Your 100th time doing this, which I just think is incredible. So where do we go to get tickets? How much does it cost? And who do you hope shows up?
Absolutely. You can go to CooperageMKE.com. They have a list of all their events, and we're the next big thing coming up. I don't think they book a lot of weddings over there. It's a really pretty venue. So there's actually less and less shows every summer, which makes it harder to get your foot in the door. But then it makes for a bigger happening. And yeah, it's a big conglomeration of a lot of people that I've been working with on the scene for a while. Um, it's good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And they got a big projector, so I get to be creative with different graphics going on behind the bands.
That is so cool. Well, we appreciate you coming here to talk about it here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Big congratulations. Way to keep your head on straight with 6 different bands, and this is on the low end for you, which I just think is bonkers. But really appreciate you coming on here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. Tlalok.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. Have a great event. Appreciate it. How cool.
Thank you very much.
As we're just talking about the music scene here in Milwaukee. I mean, every night of the week, and I got to talk to that guy because he knows more about shows that aren't, the house shows he's talking about, that you got to know somebody. And now that I got a kid, like nobody tells me about these shows anymore. But so he knows where to go. But I'm telling you, every night of the week there is something and somebody to listen to. But you should go down to his 100th event, bringing people and musicians and artists together.